Would you knowingly put flooring in your home that's almost guaranteed to fail? Of course not. But that's exactly what's happening to homeowners who don't know what to look for. One wrong flooring choice and you're looking at thousands of dollars to rip everything out and start over. I'm going to tell you exactly what to stay away from. Coming up in this video, I'm going to show you the exact type of flooring you should never put in your home and why it's setting you up for failure. I'm also going to show you what actually goes wrong with this flooring over time, from the gaps and warping to what I find hiding underneath when I rip it out. And then I'm going to tell you what you should use instead so you can get it right the first time and never have to pay for the same job twice. A while back, I got a call from a homeowner who needed their floors replaced. When I walked in, I could not believe what I was looking at. The floor was only 3 years old and it was already destroyed. There were gaps everywhere, separation between the planks, and the joints were completely broken. Come to find out, the flooring was sold by a big nationwide company that promised it would last a lifetime. The homeowner paid $8,000 for that project, and within the first year, they started noticing big problems. They called the company back, the company came out, fixed one plank, and then stopped responding completely. No more callbacks, no more support, nothing. Now 3 years later, the homeowner has to replace everything all over again. And our quote came out to $15,000. Think about that. They already paid $8,000 and now they have to spend another $15,000 to fix what should have been done right the first time. So what went wrong here? In my experience, there are two main causes of LVP failure, and this client had both of them. The number one cause is skipped subfloor preparation. This is the biggest reason floors fail, period. And I'm going to show you in just a minute what I actually find underneath when I rip these floors out. It will shock you. The second most common mistake is cheap and thin LVP flooring. When you combine a product that's not built to last with a subfloor that has never been prepped, it's only a matter of time before everything falls apart. And that's exactly what happened here. Now let me tell you what we actually find when we pull up someone else's failed LVP work. And I've done a lot of these jobs. Almost every single time, the subfloor underneath has never been prepped. No leveling, no grinding, nothing. But the worst thing I've seen, and I've seen this more than once, is cardboard boxes underneath the floor. The previous installers actually used cardboard as a leveler instead of doing the subfloor preparation the right way. That is a huge no-no. Cardboard boxes are not a leveler. It compresses, it breaks down, and it causes the floor above it to shift and separate. And that's just one example. We find all kinds of shortcuts when we pull up those floors, from skip moisture barriers to leftover debris that was never cleaned up. And when I see stuff like that, it tells me the company took every shortcut possible to get the job done fast, and the homeowner is the one who pays for it later. So now let me teach you what to look for so you can protect yourself before you buy. The first thing you want to check is the thickness. Any LVP that is 5 millimeters thick or less, you should avoid it completely. The thinner the floor, the weaker the core, and the more likely the locking mechanism is going to fail. That brings me to the second thing, the locking mechanism. If the LVP does not have a uni-click locking system, walk away. A weak locking mechanism is exactly what leads to gaps, separation, and broken joints. That's what the client I just told you about was dealing with. The joints were snapping because the locking system was cheap and brittle. So remember, you want at least 5 millimeters thick, and I prefer 6 millimeters and above. And you want a uni-click locking mechanism. If the floor doesn't have both of those, don't buy it. Now here's something that tricks a lot of homeowners. The client I told you about earlier, their flooring was sold with a promise that it would last a lifetime. Sounds great, right? But here's what most people don't realize. Those warranties on cheap LVP are very misleading. They usually only cover manufacturer defects. They do not cover installation failures, and they don't cover normal wear and tear. So when your floor starts separating and buckling because the subfloor wasn't prepped or the locking mechanism is weak, that warranty is not going to help you. And most homeowners assume they're protected, and they're really not. And don't let that warranty on the box make you feel safe about a cheap product. Another thing I want you to watch out for is the price per square foot. If you're shopping around and someone is quoting you way below market rate for LVP, that's usually a sign that the product is thin, cheap, or both. A good quality LVP is going to cost a certain amount, and when a price seems too good to be true, it usually is. That low price often means a thinner core, a weaker locking mechanism, and a floor that's not going to hold up for 10 or plus years. Use the price as a filter. If it's significantly cheaper than everything else you're seeing, ask yourself why. So now that you know what you should avoid, let me tell you what you should actually look for. If you're going with LVP, make sure it's at least 6 mm thick with a uni-click locking mechanism. That's going to give you a strong, durable floor that holds together over time. You also want a wear layer of at least 20 mils if you have pets, kids, or high traffic areas. That's going to give you good scratch resistance. And honestly, another great alternative to LVP is a high quality waterproof laminate floor. The locking mechanism on a good laminate is extremely strong. I've tested it myself and I can't even break it by hand. That's why I installed it in my own home, and that's what I put in my clients' homes. Whatever you go with, just make sure you're not cutting corners on the product or the installation. Spending a little more now will save you thousands later. Now you know which flooring to stay far away from. But here's the thing, knowing what to avoid is only half the battle. You still need to figure out which flooring is actually the best fit for your home, your family, and your budget. I made a video that breaks all of that down for you. Click right here and I'll walk you through it.